Yesterday we were thinking about the faith of Cardinal Van Thuan, the Roman Catholic bishop held by the North Vietnamese for 13 years, 9 of which were in solitary confinement. I can't begin to imagine how that must have felt. He was taken from Saigon to Hanoi in the north and held in isolation, but one day a policewoman brought him a small fish to cook. It was wrapped in 2 pages of a newspaper, L'Osservatore Romano, which would have normally been confiscated. L'Osservatore Romano, the Roman Observer, is the daily newspaper of the Vatican City State, which reports on the activities of the Holy See and events taking place in the Roman Catholic Church and the world. The cardinal, or the bishop as he was at the time, disguised his delight at seeing it, and then, when he was alone, washed and dried the paper and kept it, he says, as a relic. For me, in that unbroken regime of isolation, those pages were a sign of communion with Rome, with Peter, with the Church, and an embrace from Rome. He says, I would not have been able to survive without an awareness of being part of the Church. Now, I'm grateful to belong to the worldwide Church in all its different forms. And I've been contacted in recent weeks by Christians in Argentina. And when I was tidying up the garage, I came across this. It's a poncho. And it's the poncho from the city of Salta, where we were for 3 years, and we wore these when we were there. And I'm also grateful to the Church throughout the ages for people in the past who've prayed for me, done things that have benefited me, written things that have fed and inspired me. And I'm grateful too to belong to the Church of England and to the Diocese of Rochester and to our church here in the Chiddingstones, by which I mean, of course, you, the people, or us, the people, although I'm also grateful for the 2 buildings of St Mary's and St Luke's. And I'm so impressed by the way that as the church, many of you are looking out for others and caring for them and praying for them. I know it's not just Christians who are doing that. It's wonderful testimony to the community out here in this part of the world. Anyway, Paul prayed for the church in Ephesians chapter 3, and perhaps we could include ourselves in his prayer. For this reason I kneel before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth derives its name. I pray that out of his glorious riches he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the Lord's holy people, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all that we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us, to him be glory in the Church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, for ever and ever. Amen.